Okay, class. So today we're going to go through the essential questions for cluster 2. We're going to do questions 1 through 4. Let me see how many. We're going to do all of them because the other two are not that hard. So we'll go ahead and do all of them. Once we complete all of these questions, submit. This will be an easy grade because we're doing this together. All right. Okay, number 1. Number 1 says, describe how to write a linear equation in slope-intercept form. And again, guys, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. That's slope-intercept form. Okay, so the steps for that, this is what they're asking for. The first thing that you do is you're going to find the slope, find m, which is the slope. Since it is, and you don't have to draw this picture, I just want to draw a picture so I can give you a visual. If I'm writing the equation for this line right here, I pick 2 points. I'm going to pick 2 points on the line, and I'm going to count my rise over run. I'm counting my rise over run. So the formula that I use for slope is rise over run. You don't have to draw the picture. You just need to write in the steps, okay? Then the second step, step 2, is to figure out what the y-intercept is. Find b, because you need m and you need b to write a linear equation. So now you're going to find b. And remember, b is the y-intercept. Okay. So you can write this in with the writing tool on Cami, or you can use the text box and type it in. Your B is going to be where your line crosses the y-axis. This is the y-axis right here. So this is going to be my B. Whatever this number is, that's going to be my B. So the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay. And of course, the very last step, number 3, is you're going to substitute m and b into the slope-intercept form. And I'm going to pause to give you a chance to write. So you got 3 steps. Find m, then find b, then substitute m and b into y equals mx plus b. The second question is to describe how to write a linear equation in slope-intercept form given the slope and the y-intercept. So this time you are actually given m and you're given b. They give you those numbers. So all you have to do here is substitute these values into the slope-intercept form. That's all you have to do here. You're just going to take m and b because they're already given, and you're going to plug them here and here, and you have your equation. That's the easiest one. So I'm going to do this little diagram to the side. If they say m is 5 and b is 3, then my equation is going to be y is equal to 5x plus 3. This will be my answer. You don't have to draw these little diagrams that I'm drawing on the side. I'm just doing that to help you get a visual. All right, number 3. Let me know if I'm moving too fast, okay? Number 3, describe how to write a linear equation, y equals mx plus b, okay, in slope-intercept form, given the slope. So they give you m, and they give you 1 point. They give you an x coordinate and a y coordinate, okay? So this is what you have to do. These are your steps. The first thing, you're given m, but you don't have b. You need b. So you have to find b. Okay? In order to find b, you use y equals mx plus b, because you're going to take whatever m is, plug it in here, whatever x and y is, plug it in here, and you're going to solve for b. And I'm going to say, and solve for b. Got to find b, okay? And afterwards, number 2, okay, you're going to take your m that was given, and then your b that was already found, and you're going to substitute it into the y equals mx plus b form, slope-intercept form. So you're going to substitute m and b, this is the and symbol, into y equals mx plus b. Okay? And the diagram over to the side looks like this. M is already given, so let's suppose m is 2, and the ordered pair is 0 and 4. Okay? So you don't know what b is, so in order to find b, use y equals mx plus b, y equals mx plus b, and you're going to substitute these numbers in here. So this is x, this is y, y is 4, m is 2, x is 0, plus b. And what does it say? Solve for b. So this is 4 is equal to, this is 0, plus 0 plus b. Well, 0 plus b is going to be just b. So b is equal to 4. So now you have m and b. You have an m and you have a b. So here the equation is going to be y is equal to 2x plus 4. And remember, you don't have to draw this diagram out to the side. I just wanted to give you a visual. Okay? I just wanted to give you a visual. I'm going to pause. Okay? The last one here. Well, I said I was going to do the other two. Describe how to write a linear equation in slope-intercept form given 2 points on the line. So this time, you are not given M or B. All you are given is 2 points. And remember this diagram on the side, when you're any 2 points that you're given, when you connect them, they're going to form a straight line. Okay? So you're given 2 points. All right? So the steps for this particular problem is going to be that you find the slope first, because you have to have an M, you have to have a B, so you find slope first. The formula that you use to find the slope is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, because you're given 2 points. This is your first point, x1, y1. This is your second point, x2, y2. So you plug these numbers in to this formula to figure out what your slope is. Okay? Your second step. Okay? Again, go back up here. You're going to find B. So let's find B. How do we find B again? We did it right over here. You find B by using, or you're going to use, y equals mx plus b, just like I showed you up here. And you're going to solve and solve for b. Here, since you have 2 points, you only need one. So just choose either this one or this one. Okay? And then lastly, substitute m and b into y equals mx plus b form. So number 3, using the same steps, substitute your m and your b into the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. And I'm going to pause so you can write. These are the last two. Number 5 is, how do you graph a linear equation? Your steps for graphing a linear equation is that Number one, you're going to label your M and B. Okay, and remember, it's written in y equals mx plus b. The number attached to x is your M. That's your slope. And the number that has no variable attached to it is your y-intercept. Okay, then you're going, number two, you're going to graph B on the y-axis. Okay. So if B is 7, you're going to find 7 on the y-axis. Okay. And then you're going to use the slope to put other points on the line. Don't forget that you're labeling. Your rise is how far you go up or down. Your run is how far you go to the left or to the right. All right? And that's how you graph linear equations. Okay? What is a system? A system of linear equations? A system of linear equations is where you have more than one linear equation, okay? The x values in both equations have the same meaning. The y values in both equations have the same meaning. Okay, and that's it. All right, so now we're going to finish our independent practice problems. You can go ahead and submit this because you're done. So please submit that assignment. Please submit that assignment. Okay, and now I'm going to give you a chance to go ahead and open up the independent practice assignment. This is what we worked on yesterday. And I'm going to pause it here. Please make sure that you check answers 3 and 4. Check to make sure that you have those correct. All right, I'm going to go move to the last page. I'm going to do 5 and 6, and then you're going to do 7 and 8 on your own. I'm going to do 5 and 6, and then you do 7 and 8 on your own. And then submit this assignment. Okay? All right, here we go. This first one, to graph this system, you have to first identify what the M and the B is. So remember, the equations are already written in y equals mx plus b. The number attached to x is the M. So M here is 3. If it's not written as a fraction already, to write it as a fraction, just put a 1 under it. So then you can have a rise over a run. You have to have a fraction in order to graph a linear equation. Any questions about that? Next, you're going to label B, your y-intercept. Your b is going to be the number that has no variable attached to it. That's this minus 4. So your b for that first equation is a negative or minus 4. Any questions about that? So now you're going to take b and you're going to find it on the y-axis. Negative 4 on the y-axis is 4 down from the origin. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where your y-intercept is. Now you're going to take your slope and put other points on the line. The rise is 3, so you go up 3. The run is a positive 1, so you go to the right 1. So let's go up 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. Put your point there. Go up 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. Up 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. Okay. I ran out of space, so now I'm just going to connect my ordered pairs. Please make sure you extend your line and put arrows at the end of your line. The second equation. Any questions? Oh, sure. Go ahead. No, it's okay. All right. So look at this one. The next, I'm going to graph this second equation here. So my slope for the second equation is the number again that's attached to the x, which is negative 1 over 2. Your top number you label as your rise. Your bottom number you label as your run. Okay? Your B, which is your y-intercept, this number is where your line crosses at the y-axis. Okay? That's going to be a positive 3. So B is positive 3. So since a positive 3 is the y-intercept, you find 3 on the y-axis. So positive 3 on the y-axis is up 3 from the origin. Okay. So this is where you start. And now you're going to take your, where am I at? You're going to take your slope and put other points on the line. So since your slope is negative 1, you're going to go down 1. Since the rise is negative 1, sorry y'all. Since the rise is negative 1, go down 1. Since the run is a positive 2, go to the right 2. So it's down 1, to the right 1, 2. Put your point here. Down 1 and to the right 1, 2. Down 1 and to the right 1, and we're out of space. So now if you want points in the opposite direction, go back to where you started. And instead of going down 1, go up 1. Instead of going to the right 2, go to the left 1, 2. Up 1, left 1, 2. Okay. Okay. The point in which they share, all the points they share are the solution. They only share one point. This point right here is on both lines. This is the point where they cross. That's going to be your solution. Okay. This ordered pair is your solution. So start at the origin so you can figure out what the ordered pair is. From the origin, I go over to the right 1, 2 times. So my x coordinate is positive 2. From positive 2, I go up 1, 2 times. So my y coordinate is also positive 2. This is going to be my solution. That's the one point that they share. Yes. All right. The question was, will there ever be a time where they share more than one point? Okay. And remember, because you have just straight lines, and I will write it on this piece of paper so you can kind of still see. I'll write it over here. Because you have just straight lines, a straight line is either going to cross at one point because a straight line won't loop back around and cross twice. So it's either going to cross at one point, which this one point is going to be the solution, right? Or it's possible that two straight lines are right beside each other and never cross each other, right? So this will be no solution because they don't share any points. And then lastly, two straight lines can be right on top of each other. Got two lines right on top of each other. So if they're right on top of each other, they share all the same points. And by definition, since a line never ends, this is infinitely many solutions. Okay? So these are the only possible solutions that you can have for straight lines because straight lines don't curve back around and touch a line in more than one place. You can only have either one solution, that one point they cross, no solution because they don't touch at all, or infinitely many because they graph the exact same line. But these are your only three options. Does that make sense? You're welcome. Soon, I'm going to do this last one and then you do the other two on your own and submit this assignment, please. Okay? All right. So again, we're going to do the same thing that we did over here. We're going to find our M and our B. Our M is the number that's attached to X. So our M for the first equation is -2. Remember, if it's not already a fraction, you can write it as a fraction by putting a 1 under it. I'm going to pause real quick because there's a question in the chat. So here you got rise over run. So glad you understand, Madeline. You got rise over run. And you got your B here is +2. Okay. So we're going to find 2 on the y-axis. +2 on the y-axis is 2 up from the origin. And we're going to use our rise over run to put other points on the line. So since the top number is a -2, we go down 1, 2. Since the bottom number is a +1, you go to the right 1. So it's down 2, 1, 2, to the right 1. Put your point there. Down 1, 2, to the right 1. Put your point there. See how I get down 2 because it's a -2? And then to the right 1 because it's a +1? Now I want points in the opposite direction, so I got to do this backwards. Instead of going down 2, I go up 1, 2. Instead of going to the right 1, you go to the left 1. I'm out of space there, so all I'm going to do is connect these points. Now I'm going to graph the second equation. I'm going to label my M and B again. My M is the number that's attached to X, which is going to be a -2. Remember, if it's an integer or a whole number of some sort, you have to write it as a fraction by putting a 1 under it because you need a rise over run to graph the linear equation. Your B is the number that has no variable attached to it, and that's a -2 or a -2. Okay? Remember, your B is where the line crosses the y-axis. So you're going to find -2 on the y-axis. -2 on the y-axis is 2 down from the origin. This is -2 on the y-axis. Now we're going to use our slope, okay, which is the same slope that we had here. We're going to use our slope to graph the other points. It's a -2, so go down 1, 2, and to the right 1. I'm already out of space, so I want points in the opposite direction. So instead of going down 2, go up 2 because you want points in the opposite direction. So that's up 1, 2, to the left, 1. 1, 2, left 1, 1, 2, left 1. And what you notice is that these lines are parallel because they have the same slope that makes them parallel. So because they never touch each other, they don't share any points. They don't have any points in common. This is a no solution. They don't have any points in common. That's a no solution. And that's what we were talking about over here. Okay. This is a no solution. Any questions about those? Oh, no. Great that you're asking questions. I'm going to pause the video though. Go ahead. Okay. I'm going to repeat the question for the video. The question was, the purpose of doing all of these points, is it to see if they cross each other? And that is the exact purpose. The reason why you want to put as many points as possible is to see where the equations are going to cross each other or if they cross at all. So that was an excellent question. All right, I'm going to stop my video here. I need you to finish answering the last two questions there and then submit this assignment. All assignments are due January 15th, today, tonight at 11:59. Okay, if you need an extension, you need to email me, or I prefer you text me and remind to let me know that you need an extension. Otherwise, it's going to be closed. The only two assignments that I'm going to leave open until next Wednesday, I'm going to leave it open until next Wednesday actually, is I'm going to leave the interactive notebook open and I'm going to leave the iReady project open. I'm going to leave both of those assignments open automatically. But if you need something else open, you're going to have to open your mouth and let me know. Text me and remind. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video.